A few months ago, I made a decision that has haunted me every day since then, and that was the decision to listen to all the Now That's What I Call Music CDs. I initially thought that this would be like a fun thing to do over a couple weekends, but a few months have passed, and I have only listened to the first 10 CDs, while they are 79 now CDs, not including the spin-offs or anything like that. There were 78 when I started this project, but they released another one, making me feel like I will never ever catch up. It turns out that it's a lot harder than I thought to not just listen to music, but really actively listen to music and really pinpoint what I don't like about each and every song. But I got it for you. At least the first 10, and we are going to rank them based on how much I liked each CD from now 1 through 10. So let me explain the system that I have going on here. I decided to listen to each song, and at the end of each song, rank it from 1 to 5. And here's how I'm rating this. 1 is that I really actively wanted to skip it. I usually did not. I listened to the whole thing to give it a chance. 2 is that it wasn't my cup of tea, but I was fine listening to it. I just didn't really like it. 3 is honestly I think I have positive feelings towards it, but I'm not going to search it out. 4 is really what I'm starting to like, and 5 is shut up, I'm listening to my jam right now. So without further ado, here are the Now CDs, 1 through 10, ranked from worst to best. And we got to start with the bummers. In last place, we have Now 9, with an average of 3.1. This CD was just so... ooh, meh. The best song on there was Whenever, Wherever by Shakira. Love Shakira. That's not her best song. I gave it a 4, but that should not be holding down a mix CD. It's a good song, but there's 20 songs on here, and if I'm telling you it's just getting worse from there, that's not a great CD. There's not a lot worth mentioning in here. I will say U2 is like when Taco Bell gets a new menu item that's just oh, it's not a bean and cheese burrito, it's a bean and cheese roll up. That's a new item. They've only written one song ever, and it wasn't great. And I thought that Genuine was an artist made up for the show Parks and Rec, so I was a little embarrassed by that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. In ninth place, we have Now 7 with an average of 3.0. I know that's lower than what Now 9 technically got, but it's saved because of Survivor by Destiny's Child. There's at least a 5 on this CD, okay? On the other hand, it has In My Pocket by Mandy Moore, maybe my least favorite song so far I've heard on this. It sounds like a music producer heard 10 seconds of Indian music total in his life and was like, I got it, let's make this Mandy Moore. And yeah, it just doesn't work together. But at the very least, it made me feel visceral reactions towards something as opposed to Now 9. So, there we go. In 8th place, and I'm sorry to say it, it's Now 2. It has some great songs on there. Semisonic, Closing Time, classic. Hit Me Baby One More Time, I gave it a 6, an honorary 6 because I loved it so much. Never There by Cake, love Cake. On the other hand, some terrible songs on there. I'm sorry to even mention R. Kelly here, but some of his songs, I mean, he just writes something that's let's make it 3-4 minutes longer. Let's make it 2 songs worth. That the kids love that. Also, I'm sorry I give the Spice Girls a 1. When it works, and when it doesn't, it really doesn't. I don't know what to tell you. The Garbage song was garbage. And I really like Fatboy Slim, but man, they go way too long on songs that I like. It would have been a 5, but you gotta know when to stop, Fatboy Slim, okay? That all being said, Brittany, love Hit Me Baby One More Time. Let's do 2 more times on that. In 7th place, we have Now 10, with an average, again, of 3.1. There are a few very good songs on here. Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles. I felt like I should have given this another honorary 6, but I can't just do that willy-nilly. That is the ultimate song to listen to in a car. If you are not belting that song in a car, I want you out. That is amazing. Yeah, I just want that Hot Chicks moment. I haven't even seen Hot Chicks, but I've seen enough trailers of Hot Chicks to know. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. That is a great song to belt to. The other fives I gave on here are good, but not a lot to say here. First Date by Blink-182, that's fun. Can't Get You Out of My Head, classic, but, you know, not much to say. On the other hand, I know it sounds like I hate Shakira based on what I'm saying so far. I swear I like Shakira, just really not this song. Underneath Your Clothes by Shakira, that sounds like someone heard Taylor Swift for the first time and was like, I gotta put something on YouTube. Gotta write something in 10 minutes, put it on YouTube right now. Also, this isn't like a terrible song or anything, but what's the deal with Lenny Kravitz? He is in almost every single Now CD that I've listened to so far. Does he know Mr. Now or something like that? I don't get it. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have Now 3 with an average of 3.166. I think now is a good time to say, I'm sorry, this is a really subjective list. There are some genres that really get unwanted hate on here. I just didn't grow up with things like R&B as much as like punk rock or something. I know that comes as a shock. But yeah, it's not saying that there are genres that are better than others, but this is just what I grew up on, so here we go. If you want, you can play a game that I like to call Where's Lenny Kravitz? It's like Where's Waldo, but instead of Waldo, it's the aforementioned Lenny Kravitz. You'll find him everywhere. Limp Bizkit, garbage. It doesn't really fit on like poppy, here's what's popular right now CDs. It's fine, but I'm just not like in the mood when I'm doing that kind of stuff. Also, R. Kelly again. If it's not from Space Jam, I'm probably not going to really love an R. Kelly song. I'm sorry. That being said, this CD does start out strong with All Star by Smash Mouth. That just put me in a good mood for the rest of the CD. So I kind of didn't care. I'm like, this has Smash Mouth on it. And it has some pretty good ones after that. Blink-182, Enrique Iglesias. And I'm sorry, that wasn't my favorite. Sometimes isn't my favorite Britney Spears song. I gave her a 6 already. Okay, so sue me. Next up, we got Now 8 with an average of 3.3. Now we're getting somewhere now. I don't know if this is the best CD to illustrate this, but the Now CDs feel like some kind of weird culture war or something. Like it'll go by genre and it'll segregate it really, really harshly. Like R&B's up top and punk rock's at the bottom. And I understand why they do that for like listening purposes, but it makes me feel like a demographic. I know I am one, but I don't like to think of myself as one. Overall, there's some fun ones in here. Clint Eastwood by Gorillaz, I'm a Believer, Smash Mouth, Sum 41, Destiny's Child, Mystical. I don't know his name, but turns out I like his music. That being said, I felt tricked by this album. Like, Bootylicious, I realized that it's sampled from Edge of 17, and that, like, made me dock a point. I don't know if that's fair. Someone to Call My Lover. I'm sorry that I gave Janet Jackson such low scores on this in this whole thing, but it was just it made me want to listen to Ventura Highway, and then it just gave me a worse version of Ventura Highway. Also, Bad Day by Fuel. I thought that was Bad Day by Daniel Powder, and that made me feel sad that it wasn't that. Anyway, not a lot of points docked for all that, but it hurt. This one might be a little controversial because I think this is a lot of people's favorite one, but Now 1 gets 4th place with an average of 3.375. That's respectable. And I'll grant it to you. I wanted it to be number 1 because it is number 1. Also, it has a great album cover. It makes you just want to listen to music for a long time. And in fact, this is the reason I started doing this whole thing. We were filming a sketch, and in the sketch, one of the props is a box full of Now 1. And I was just so inspired that I had to start listening to these CDs. But in a way, it's nice to know that it left a legacy of some CDs that are even better. Isn't that beautiful? Honorable mentions are obviously Mbop by Hanson. That's got to be my top one in this one. One of the top songs ever written by a 13-year-old. I mean, come on. As Long As You Love Me by Backstreet Boys. Obviously. Say You'll Be There by Spice Girls. I'd never heard it, but see, that's one that hits. Also, I got to hand it to Lenny Kravitz on this one. He made it from the very start of the Now CDs, but he started with his best song, Fly Away. That's a good one. That's the stuff I want on these Now CDs, Lenny. Again, though, on the Janet Jackson, I'm sorry, Janet Jackson fans. I don't get it. Also, Radiohead, for me, is almost automatically going to get a 1. They really got to prove something to me that I want to listen to it. Okay, and it's weird that I'm mentioning this one because usually a 3 means that I just feel okay about it. On the other hand, Barbie Girl got a 3 because it is both my favorite song and my least favorite song. So I have really strong mixed feelings about it. Like it's kind of, like a fun dancey song, but it also makes me feel like I should go to jail for listening to it. So, a 3? Okay, now we're getting into the big boys here. Now 6 is number 3. And let me just list off these 5s here. Bye Bye Bye, Around the World, Love Don't Cost a Thing, Drive by Incubus. Those are some goodies. And especially this CD starts really strong. Starts with Britney Spears. I'm sorry I didn't give that one a 5. Has does it have multiple Destiny Childs? It feels like it does. Lenny Kravitz back again. I would have given It Wasn't Me by Shaggy a 5, but I'm kind of a prude, so I thought I'd just dock it a point for that. Also, 3LW. If you don't know, that has 2 of the 4 Cheetah Girls in that band. And I did not realize that the Cheetah Girls kind of came from a real band. That's kind of cool. So, a 4. That's great. Also, Promiseth is a great thing to say. I think that's all I have to say about that one. So, without further ado, these top 2 were very contentious for me. But I'm going to have to give second place to Now 5. Congratulations, Now 5! What's really fun about this era of Now CDs is that there's almost guaranteed to be an NSYNC and a Backstreet Boys song. And it's fun to see like who wins out on the CD. And surprise, maybe 98 Degrees wins out of those 2. I know it's not even in the competition, but they kind of stole it that time. This is my next stop on my apology tour to Janet Jackson. Again, I don't know. Janet, if you're listening, please like and subscribe, I guess. Shout out to me in the comment section. Also, the pop rock section towards the end. BB Mac. That is good. And even better, this is a story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. If that's not relatable, I don't know what is. Aaron's Party, I wanted to give you more, just for nostalgia purposes, but I think, like, you listen to Aaron Carter now just to be like, isn't this hilarious that we're listening to Aaron Carter? And not really because, like, oh, but really, there is something here. As opposed to, like, Lucky by Britney Spears, where, like, you'll probably start listening to it ironically, but then by the end of the song, you're like, if there is nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? You know? There really is something here for everyone, and I'm including Janet Jackson fans. Again, I am so sorry. However, the winner really has to go to, drumroll please, I can only do one clapping hand here. Now 4! Woo, 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 woo! It was technically losing to Now 5 until I gave Mark Anthony an honorary 6 points. I just had to. I listened to that song and something just unlocked in my mind, and I felt so young again. And this was the song that, like, took me out of a rut. It, like, made all of this horrible listening to so many songs actively all worth it. Everyone, if you have not listened to I Need to Know by Mark Anthony recently, please do so. I mean, within the first, like, 5 songs of this CD, I decided this was probably going to be my favorite one. Just, like, if you really start super solid on a CD, it's going to take a lot for me to decide I don't like this CD anymore. I mean, Larger Than Life, Drive Me Crazy, I Need to Know, Candy, Blue. And then it gets into, like, your Lenny Kravitz, which, you gotta have it. But that was such a solid start. It had Savage Garden in here, had some Smash Mouth. I try to say goodbye, but I don't. That is another forgotten classic. It's so good. Yeah, this CD made me remember that Jennifer Lopez has super old hits. Train has super old hits. Blink-182 has a million hits. It's just so many great things on here. And I think this one could reasonably be like a mix CD that I would just make because I love all these songs. Aside from the occasional 2 on here, there's not even a 1. It's so good. Listen to that. So, anyway, that's the ranking of the first 10 Now CDs. It took me so long to decide to make this video. If you liked it, please, for the love of all that's good, like this video, tell people to watch this video. I'm only going to make more of these and try to, like, actually catch up to the Now CDs if people really do want this. If you do want it, I can really buckle down and do it. If not, it is a lot of work, as it turns out. So let me know if you really do want this to continue, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it happens. Love you guys. We'll see ya.